All right, I want to talk to you about somebody I loved so dearly. He was gone now. He died a couple years ago from cancer. But I want to talk about my stepdad. Uh, Stepdad, he was a gambler. He was like the redneck Goodwill Hunting meets child labor monopoly, and I'll explain all of that in just a minute. Like he would bet on anything, including me. Like my stepdad wasn't just a gambler; like he was a lifestyle gambler. Like some people have hobbies. This man had a full-time addiction with side quests. Like he would bet on anything: cards, darts, sports, the goddamn weather. Hell, he'd even bet on me. I'm 13 years old, hanging out at smoke-filled bars, hustling grown-ass men at darts, foosball, and pool. Meanwhile, my stepdad is on the sidelines drinking a Budweiser, taking bets on my performance like I'm a racehorse. Like, come on, kid, make that shot. I got 20 bucks riding on you. Like, why the fuck was I living a low budget reboot of The Color of Money at 13? I mean, most kids were out playing Little League, and I was out here running underground gambling rings in a biker bar, and losing meant I would have to walk home. And he didn't stop at bar games. Like, he taught me euchre and canasta, and not like fun family bonding activities. No, I was his gambling partner. Like, most kids are out here doing chores for allowance. Me, I'm sitting at a table with chain smoking old men running a Midwest backroom card game like I'm Doc Holliday minus the tuberculosis. And let's be clear, I wasn't winning. This wasn't some heartwarming underdog story. Like the best case scenario was I would break even. Worst case, I get grounded for costing him money. Because if I lost, the shit was personal. Like, Jesus, Chris, what the fuck was that play? I got 50 bucks in the pot. I'm like, I'm 13, man. I just learned how to shave. And the best part was this man wasn't just gambling with his own money. No, that would be too ethical. He ran the books for my mom's bar. Like, let that sit in for a second. Someone with a gambling problem who also drank way too much was in charge of managing the finances for the place that paid our bills. My mom busted her ass working long hours running that place, making actual money. Meanwhile, my stepdad was like, you know what would be a great investment? Betting on the Dallas Cowboys. It wasn't just sports either. Like this man bet on horse races, poker, fantasy football before it was even a real thing. Like I'm pretty sure if you gave him a coin and a table, he'd bet you heads or tails for your rent money. Like every Saturday morning, I'd get up and he'd be at the kitchen table drinking coffee and Kahlua, running his numbers for Sunday's football games. It was literally like watching redneck Goodwill Hunting, except instead of solving complex math equations on a chalkboard, he was scrawling point spreads on a napkin. Like if Green Bay covers the spread, I can double down on Pittsburgh, hedging my bets with Chicago, and make rent by Tuesday. I thought he was running a goddamn Wall Street trading floor. Like, meanwhile, my mom's in the background, physically keeping the bar afloat. And me, I was just sitting there watching my financial future get decided over a bowl of cornflakes and a cigarette ash. But nothing compares to the economic hellhole that was playing Monopoly with this man. Folks, he was fucking ruthless. This was not a family game night. This was unregulated capitalism with a personal vendetta. And like any good American capitalist, he had his own rules. Like he'd make them up. One of his favorites was if I owed him money, he would give me a loan, but then the interest rates would be astronomical. Now, a normal parent would just let their kids enjoy the game, but not this man. This wasn't a game. This was financial education boot camp. You want to borrow $100? No problem. But the interest rate is 50% every turn. 50 fucking percent. By the time I landed on free parking, I owed him so much money I was indentured to him in real life. You know, like most kids got an allowance. I never got an allowance because I was perpetually in debt from Monopoly. I'd land on his property, rent was $500, and I had 200. No problem, kid. I'll float you a loan. Boom. Now I owe him 600 next turn. And by the end of the game, I wasn't just broke in Monopoly. I actually had household debt that I had to work off in real life. This motherfucker converted a board game into an actual child labor system. You want to clear that Monopoly debt? Guess you better mow the lawn and do the dishes for the next month. What the fuck? I was a literal child, and somehow I had worse financial standing than a real life mortgage holder. I couldn't even win my way out of it because he always won. You ever lose Monopoly and still owe somebody money in real life? That's psychological warfare. And if Monopoly wasn't bad enough, have you ever played the game Risk? You ever play Risk with a man who has nothing to lose? That's a psychological level of damage that you just can't undo. Like most kids would get bedtime stories. My younger brother got threats of military conquest. Like he would make my little brother cry with one sentence. He would look at him at the start of the game and he'd say, "I'm coming for you, Scott." That's it. My brother absolutely broke down because he knew there was no mercy in this household. Risk is a long game, and you have to sit there and watch your demise happen one roll at a time in real time. Now, most parents would let their kids win sometimes, right? Not my stepdad. This man would strategically annihilate us. And the worst part, he enjoyed it. God, he enjoyed it. He would just take Australia just to fuck with you. And then he'd start bullying you with troop movements. Oh, you got 5 guys in Europe? That's cute. I got 40 in Kamchatka. I'm headed your way, motherfucker. And by the end of it, my little brother was a broken man. And me, I'm just sitting there thinking about how he was still in Monopoly debt. Look, some people gamble for fun. My stepdad, he lived it. He breathed it. He destroyed childhoods with it. I never learned shit about money from Monopoly, but I did learn one valuable lesson. Never owe a drunk money because he will come and collect. I I love the man. He was fun. We enjoyed playing games with him, but he was ruthless and he was brutal. And rip to him. He died a few years ago, and I miss him tremendously. I do have some fond memories in spite of how much I just roasted his ass.